Hello traders and welcome to TLC FX. In this video I will be going and backtesting last week's Euro USD price action and let's see how much we would gain if we use the TLC strategy. So as you can see, last week we start on Monday. This is Asia and we're about to enter London session. So I usually trade at 8 o'clock, so we will see where price action is. So we start off as usual, marking our previous day high, previous day low. So this is our PDAH, PDL, and I can see that obviously this hasn't formed, so this is not valid yet, but I can see there's a fair value gap over here, and there isn't much and there isn't anything else. So we start off by the day as just seeing where price is now. So you can see it's above the 50%. In this case, at 8 o'clock, I'm expecting price to take out PDH and not PDL straight away. Let's see what happens. So just want to check out the 1 hour time frame. The 1 hour time frame also is looking, price action looks very heavily to take out this previous day, these fair value gaps. But ideally what I want to do is, again, using the TLC strategy, I want to be selling in this area over here and then buying. So I'm expecting price to continue to take out this high to then continue to go down. As 8 o'clock hits, price is above the 50%. So price could just essentially just do this, come down, mitigate all of this, and then continue to go up. So let's see what happens. So I'll go back to my 1 minute time frame and I will look at what happens. I can just see with price action, you have a boss down and then you have another boss down, chalk, boss, chalk, and then over here you don't have really price action. So the main area would be this and that, and it's coming down. It hasn't created no 3 candle pullback. Well, actually this place has. So this, because you can see that's the low, candle, cool. So, and then so that's the high. I need price to breach this to then for me to go up and start buying the price. So I will go 1 candle by 1 candle. So you can see price is just continuing to go down. Let's see what happens. Let's go a bit faster. So obviously we had the new price action over here. So this is my low, that's my high. My low, I need price to disrespect this or break this for my new high and low to change. Okay, as you can see, it has, let me just turn this off. As you can see, it has disrespected this slightly, but not with a body close. So I'll continue playing, and now it has. Essentially, I'm looking to buy from here, so I'm looking for price to come down over here and give me that price action. Nope, looks like it's broken that, so this would move higher and higher. Okay, now it has. Oh, okay, so now obviously you can see the EMA has crossed over and this is an entry point for me, but what we don't want to do is go ahead and just enter this and put a stop loss. Even though our stop loss is only 4.8 pips, it just doesn't meet this requirement. What I would like to see is price pull back, fill this fair value gap, and at least come down to 3.5 as my bare minimum as a stop loss, and target of 1 to 2 place order. This is a bit of a risky one. Obviously we would like to see price at least give us more than 0.4% gain before it takes out this, but obviously we're accounting for that with our risk. Okay, so this was a complete loss, which is fine. It is a bit more risky because obviously we wanted it to be a bit more. So fine. Let's see what happens. I'm still happy to re-enter until it breaches this. So this is a new chalk. I'm waiting for price. Okay, created a new boss down. Now it's created a chalk. I'm happy to go ahead and buy from here once it gives me a 3-candle pullback, which it has. And it's also giving me a chalk. So I'll still play out price. Now it looks like price is about to hit. Okay, that is that. I need price to break this. Perfect. Let's see what happens. Okay, 1, 2, yeah. I think this is the part where I'll use discretion a bit more, because I wouldn't classify this as a pullback, even though it does slightly, but it's just not strong enough. So I'll consider that as my high. It did tap into the 50%. Now I'm just looking for a buy entry, which I do. I also see a fair value gap here, over there, which is 3 pips. My minimum is always 3.5. Now if my stop loss, if this area was 3.5 pips, then I would leave it. I wouldn't add an extra half a pip on top, or a pip. And then you can also see that this gives me 1%, but we will target a 1 to 2. So we place the order and let's see what happens. Because essentially our bias for the day is bullish. I'm anticipating that this high, which is all the way up there, is going to be taken. It's just been bearish until price reaches here, which is the 0.75%, to then for me to assume that this PDL is going to be taken. So let's see what happens. Price mitigates us, and then I think, okay, that is 1%, so I will reduce my stop loss to half a percent, and then let price do its thing to then take me out at 2%, which, so for the day we had 1 win and 1 loss. We could let this ride, but I think to have a healthy risk to reward ratio and a healthy win rate, I think a 1 to 2 is very valid. Going on to Tuesday, what's happened? Now we have this fair value gap formed over here, the fair value gap, and then that's quite important. I can see that PDL has been taken, so I'm looking for buys. However, I understand that fair value gaps are pretty important, so price is probably going to come down, maybe fill this and then go up. So I don't have a very 100% clear bias apart from bullish at the moment, because what you can do, price could just continue to go down here, not fill this, maybe fill it the next day. So I think the 1 hour would help me a bit more in this case. So I'll go to 1 hour. So now it's 8 o'clock. If we look on the 5 minute, you'll see that it's 7:55. Yep. So this is a 1 hour time frame. I can see that price is still looking to, there is still some fair value gaps over here. There's previous Asia session low that hasn't been taken, plus with a fair value gap. So I still think price is going to come down, liquidate this, liquidate Asia low, probably fill a tiny bit of the fair value gap and go up a bit. So we will get into those buys. So let's see what happens. Okay, so we can see that price has liquidated this, but we want this to be liquidated. It's just a high probability chance that price action will take that out. So we don't do nothing until Asia low is at least taken out. Now I might have not done it in London, but London didn't have much movements, and you can see I think it did take it out. Oh no, it's respecting it. Now it's disrespected it. Now I'm starting to look for buys into while we've just entered the daily fair value gap. Okay, perfect. Now that has not yet disrespected it. No, it has, sorry, my bad. So we can see it's disrespected it. not followed all the flows, closed above it. Now I'm looking for price to at least pull down, retrace 50%, which it has, but the EMAs hasn't crossed over. Now it has, and I'm just waiting for the EMA to be above. Yep, created a fair value gap as well. I would enter on there, stop loss 4.4, and 2R, place order, risk, and then let it play out. Obviously it's just already hit 1R, so I reduce my stop loss to 0.5% and kind of go from there. 2R, bam. So what do I take from this? Obviously this would be a very risky trade if you continue to hold this. The reason why is because we've just tapped into the daily fair value gap. It's had some sort of buy entries because a lot of people would be buying, but at the end of the day it hasn't fully filled the fair value gap on the daily time frame. So I still think price is going to come down, but we're just entering on these quick reversals for a quick 1 to 2 and getting out. As you can see, this trade took us how long? Literally 28 minutes. So as you can see, I still think it's just going to continue to go down. Let's see what happens next day. Yeah, so even though you might have gained more, like a lot of people would have put it, oh look, I'm going to put it above Asia high because Asia low was swept, but as you can see, it doesn't hit. So I think we need to have a healthy balance of a high win rate as well as a good risk to reward ratio. So moving on to the next day. So we're on Wednesday now, and we've already made 3% so far. So previous day low has not been swept, nor has previous day high. But where do we see price? You can also see that this hasn't been formed yet, but also previous day low has not been fully taken, as there's still a fair value gap that still needs to be filled. There's a high chance that it will be filled. And where can we see price now? I still think it's below the 50%, which yes, it is. So my bias would be I'm going to continue to sell until it breaks this. Once it breaks this PDL, then I'm looking to buy. So there's probably 2 trade possibilities out here, but we will continue to see what price does. So I'll go to the next day. Start at 8 o'clock. You can see price just heavily went down, fill that fair value gap, and now we're at 7.59. So let's just remove this. We know where things are. You can see that previous Asia high has already been swept, so price is most likely going to still head down. So let's just see where market structure is at the moment. So we can see that price has given us a boss. There's a 3 candle pullback. I know it's very little, but I think because I don't think price will, I am using a bit of discretion over here, because in the previous section I did say that these small pullbacks I wouldn't accept, but at the same time over here I'm accepting because I can see that previous day high has been, Asia high has been swept. So I'm just waiting for a reversal to come through, and I think this will continue to hold. So if this breaks, I'm going to classify this as my high. Okay, price has swept this and closed below it. And then what I will do, once it's swept that, this is going to be my high. I want the retracement to at least come here for me to, oh, yep, it's done that. Now I'm waiting for 2 candles below. Perfect. I'm still waiting for the EMA to cross over. Now it has. But I'm going to wait for this because that's just too low. 3.3, 3.5 is my bare minimum. 1 to 2. Place order, sell, and just continue to play. Okay, it looks like we missed that by a small, because price did come up, but just didn't trigger us in to continue to go down. I'll still hold this, but as you can see, it swept. So we had the right direction, but we just didn't have the correct or not the correct, but price didn't just come to our area. So everything else we did correct. It's just that price didn't come to the area that we wanted it to, which is completely fine. It does happen. So we did miss out on this trade. It was a winning trade. It's just it didn't hit our area. Now I want this fair value gap to be filled. Even though it has swept, I still need it to be filled fully. So I'm gonna continue to play price. Okay, now it has. So you can see this is a boss, another boss. So this, if your price breaks this high to continue to go up, I'll go ahead and buy. Okay, now it hasn't. Now it has. So I will go ahead and do this. Price needs to come down here for me to go ahead and buy again. Okay, EMAs have crossover. Okay, perfect. I think this area is going to be a bit tricky. It's just that this is the London lull session, low, and it's like a liquidity area. I would still take it as part of my plan, but it's just something to note. So as you can see, it hasn't really crossed fully. We're just waiting for that to cross. Now it has. I can't see any fair value gap that is very, very close to it. So I'm just going to put right next to it so I can get entered. 3.2, 3.5 is my bare minimum. And I will enter this trade at 1 to 2. Place order. Got triggered. Now I don't know if this is a 1 to 1. Yeah, reduce risk to that, and then continue to play. Okay, that was a that was a very unfortunate one because it did tend to hit my. Oh, let's just do that. Okay, now it has fully hit TP. It's just that I've reduced my stop loss to 50%, which is fine because it just meant that what I used to do was at a 1 to 1 put my stop loss at break even. So obviously I wouldn't lose anything if price came back, but a lot of the times what would happen, price would go up in my direction, get me a 1 to 1, and then price would retrace back to my entry point or a bit deeper, and then continue to go in my direction. So it's just about managing your risk. Okay, so moving on with that, because we had one loss, we had the boss, and I think once you miss that trade, I wouldn't encourage you guys unless if there's so let's see what's happening on the 1 hour time frame. There is no fair value gaps over here, so I'm happy to continue buying this. Why? Because there's fair value gaps, there's reason for price to continue to go up. If I saw there was fair value gaps over here, I would not be happy buying this anymore once I miss my first initial trade. The reason why is because price has reason to come down, continue to go down. Right now, I can't see any fair value gaps apart from all the way over here, but that's pretty far. So yeah, let's move on and continue with finding another trade. You can see, so we had a chop, and then now we have a boss. So I'm, for this area, for this, I am looking for something like that. For price to come down, which it has. It's giving me a crossover. I'll also enter just there with a 3.7 pip at a 1 to 2 place order. So this is a bit more risky, but I've only like lost 0.5% today, so I'm happy to risk a bit more. Okay, so I've reduced my risk even more now to 0.5%, and hopefully, come on. Now this is a perfect example. If I put my stop loss to break even here, I would have been taken out at break even. But let's just see. There you go. See, with that, I've just gained 2% without, and only risking 0.5% once it hit 1 to 1. So this is a perfect example why I think managing your risk like this is far more superior than if you were to put your stop loss at break even. So yeah, perfect. Moving on to the next day, let's just see what price did since yesterday's price action. So yeah, we did kind of get lucky. If you remember, there was a fair value gap over here, which it filled with this candle as well. So let's go to the 5-minute time frame. So this is where we entered. Price continued to go up, fill that fair value gap. It couldn't fill up. It didn't fill this other one, but maybe it might fill it up today. But let's just see where price is. So if we continue at 8 o'clock. So let me just clear all the drawings. I'm just gonna add some tea because my throat is dry. Okay, welcome back, guys. So I am here again, just drawing out my previous day high, previous day low. Price is currently, it's well, let's just be as objective as possible. It's just a bit above. So, you know, as mechanical as I can get at 8 o'clock exactly, wherever price is above or below the 50%, that's where I will be trading until price hits the 0.75%, which I'm going to mark it as this. If price comes anywhere here, I'm going to continue to short. But what it looks like, price is going to continue to go up, and I'll be buying that trend until it hits this PDH. So let's see what happens. I'm also going to draw out where the fair value gaps are. I think it also helps me identify where price could even retrace a bit more. So let's just do that. Fine, perfect. So let's just move on with the day. So it's at 8 o'clock. Let's just remove this because I already know my bias is buy now. My market structure. So boss, chalk. Oh, that's a bit of a interesting one because I don't actually know. So has it closed? No, it hasn't. Okay, so it looks like it's just continued bosses down. Boss down. So my highest area is here. The price needs to break this with a body close for me to continue to buy. So let's see what happens. There you go. My low would be over here. So I'm looking for a 50% retracement of this. Okay, what's happened here? Is this a 3-candle pullback? No, not necessarily. This is boss now. Okay, now we have a new boss. Interesting. Perfect. Remember, we have a fair value gap here. I think it's trying to fill that. So let's see what happens. Okay, it's giving me a chop now. Okay, perfect. So it's gone up. It's giving me a boss down, another boss down. I need it to break this for me to continue to go. Yeah, there you go. Now I'm gonna cancel this. I think, to be honest with you guys, I think when I'm on TradingView, depending on your feed, I use fx.com. My daily bias was short on this day. The reason why is because the price was below, just by 1 or 2 pips below the 50%. But in this price action feed, it was a tiny bit above. So I think I'm just going to continue with what I see because I'm trying to make it as mechanical as possible, where there's not a lot of decision making involved. Let's just see. Price did come down to not the 50% area. So it did create another boss. And that's the high. This is the low. Just over here. Okay, it looks like it's just coming to fill this fair value gap. Okay, so I think even though when it did break this, it didn't have a full 3 candle pullback. So this is still pulling back. So if I get a crossover here, I'll be buying. Okay, looks like I don't. So I'm just gonna leave it there because my previous day high is all the way over there. Let's just continue to see what happens. Okay, so okay, perfect. So even though we're still bullish, boss, then we had a chalk, so we can't really trade down. So obviously now we have a chalk up. So my expectation is this previous day high is going to be taken. So let's just see where the pullback happens. So the pullback, yes, it is, but I haven't had I had a crossover here, but I need the pullback to happen at 50%, which it does. Oh damn! So it's also had that. I'm going to, this is because we missed this thing. I would be entering exactly off there with this here 5.7 pips. I want to place order. I think that's a 1 to 2. Sorry, a 1 to 1. Yeah, so automatically reduce to 50%. Oh, perfect. There you go. Another win there. So that's it for because it's almost ending. My trading day is almost finished. I don't see any other trades. There you go. Okay. I mean, now I'll be looking for shorts, but my session's over. So moving on to the next day. To be fair, on this day, I did not trade, but it would be interesting to see, what actually happened. So let's go. Automatically, previous day high was taken. The best trades that I see is when previous day high or low has not been taken and you're trading towards that direction. So those are some high probability trades. This is not 100% formed yet because the day has not ended for this to be a valid fair value gap. There is nothing fair value gap apart from all the way here, which I think is too far away. You can see there's Asia high, so I think price is going to liquidate that up again to then continue to go down, which is my bias to start filling these fair value gaps, or price could just pull back to this region, but I don't understand why it would, because I think there's a very, very small chance. Yeah, because no, sorry. Yeah, there is a slight chance for price to just do this essentially. So come up here, do that, and we can start shorting. I think the magnet tool is on the hook. Anyways, so that's the fair value gap. There's fair value gaps below, so I'm waiting for price to go up, fill this fair value gap, give me an entry model down, or continue to go up, take out this high to then give me an entry model down. So let's actually see what happens. Price action is already bearish, so I'm just waiting for it to, this is at, now it's at 8 o'clock. Sorry about that, guys. So as you can see, at 8 o'clock, before 8 o'clock, that fair value gap has been filled. So I do see an entry model, but I need to make sure that at 8 o'clock, it has to be a high or a low for me to enter. So, wow, that is a massive drop. Not sure what happened there. And I think there is some CPI coming out, I think. Oh no, but I know some major news is going to come out, so I think that's why I did not trade this day. Let's just see what happens. Yeah, I just don't see a trade in here because it's been completely bearish the whole day, and then there's no point of buying in these small areas because it's not worth the risk. Okay, I think I can see a trade here, but it's at the end of our session because it did break a high, break all of these liquidity points, tapped into this supply zone, and then continue to plummet. but our session's over, and I wouldn't even have traded this until price came over here. We got our entry model to go down. So anyway, guys, that is the end of the video. If we look at our analytics, we have a very, very high win rate, I think, in my opinion, 66%. You can see we took 6 trades that day. I think we had 2 losers, 4 winners. We've gained 6.5% within a week, and that's only 1 pair. And you can see that we've had 2 losses, 2 wins in a row, 1 loss, and then all the trades is less than an hour. So I think you'd get quick results, so you can kind of get over it if you lose, and then also move on to the next trade. And if we go down, obviously 2000. So you're technically almost trading every single day with this strategy, and you're technically like winning more. So over here you took one win, 1 loss, I believe. 1 win over here. It looks like 1 win and 0.5% loss. So, and then 1 win over here. So you're trading quite a long time, but that is about it, guys. I know, damn, it's been running for quite some time, so I'll end it there, and I'll see you guys in the next week's video. Bye bye.